Tacoma, welcome back to your TV classroom. Today is Wednesday, December 9th, and Mrs. Wally and I are so excited to have another special guest in our TV classroom. We were lucky enough to have our superintendent, Carla Santorno, join us today. Thank you so much for being here with us.
It is great to be here. Yay, I'm on TV. I love it.
So, how are you? Things have been crazy the past 8 months. How are you doing?
I am just fine. I mean, it is crazy, and every day is really, really different, and new problems come up every minute. But I love it when we are working to solve problems for kids, and that's what we're doing. So, and I've got a great team. Tacoma Public Schools is an incredible community. So everybody's coming together to solve problems, and I love that. So we're hanging in there.
What does a school superintendent do? A lot of students don't know.
People ask me that question a lot. But what I think about it is, it's almost like Tacoma Public Schools is a small city, right? We've got kitchens. We've got like 57 kitchens throughout the whole district. We have plumbers and electricians and roofers and people who do all kinds of jobs. We have people that make the paychecks, so we have a purchasing department, and we have people who do the lawns, have to mow the lawns and keep the grounds pretty. So there are so many different works. We have schools going up, so we've got construction workers that are building new schools. And so really what my job is to keep the pulse on all those things and making sure that they're doing well. And the most important thing is really paying attention to what's going on with instruction, to make sure that our boys and girls are getting educated and that their academics are strong and that they're getting a good opportunity to learn all the stuff they need to learn to be whatever they want to be. So that's the job that's the most important. But it's looking at a lot of things.
What does a day typically look like for you? What do you do?
Well, that's one of the things I love about my job, is because every day is really, really different. And so, first of all, it's meetings. It is a lot of meetings. So on the new Zoom, I've had to learn all the technology because part of the way I check in is by, looking at going to meetings. And because we have such a, incredible community, so I do some work meetings that are with the people that are doing all the different jobs. And then I do a lot of community meetings. So I just came here from a meeting with the mayor because she is starting a new big program. This morning at 7:30, I was at a meeting for United Way because I'm on the board for the United Way, and we meet with them. And so it's a lot of meetings. And then one fun part is that I go to schools. This has been different kind of school visits. So I snuggle next to the teacher and we watch the kids on the screen, or I go and visit the principals. So it's a combination of a lot of jobs. It's real different now because of COVID. So I'm not out as much as I used to be. I used to, pretty much could go to a play or a movie or a choir or some kind of performance every night, and we're not having those. So it's mostly paying attention to what's going on, and it's a lot of meetings.
What led you to become superintendent of Tacoma?
Well, believe it or not, I started out as a teacher, and really, I say I was a mission teacher. What I mean by mission teacher is I always wanted to be a teacher from the time I was a little girl, and I was looking at this set thinking, oh, this is kind of like when I was 6 years old. My mom built me a little classroom in our basement, and I would have class, and all the 3 and 4 year olds would come to my house, and my mom didn't tell me till later, but I was really the babysitter for the whole neighborhood because they go, "What time is class today?" And they would all come in. So I wanted to be a teacher forever, and superintendent wasn't on my bucket list. And the more I taught, the more I thought, I think I could do that a little bit better, and I'd like to have some control over that. So then I was a principal, and then I got to be a curriculum director where I was in charge of the learning materials. And then I was a deputy superintendent, so I got help, and then finally I was superintendent. So each time it was about wanting to have a really good influence and being the person who got to be in charge. Now, there's good things and bad things about that, because now if anything happens, it's my fault, and I get that. So it means I have to work really hard and have really good people to work towards what we're doing.
What do you love about Tacoma?
The thing I love about Tacoma the most is that it's a city. We have all the components of a city. We have diversity and languages and differences. I love that. But you can get your arms around it because we're not huge. We're not Los Angeles or Dallas or some of those places. And, Tacoma wins awards and grants all the time. And we're at the table with all those huge, big cities, but we're getting it done because, because we have a community that'll come together and work toward a common goal. And that doesn't happen in a lot of cities. So I feel really fortunate about being here where that works.
Going back to your childhood, what did you love about school?
Okay, so I was a school girl, right? I loved, because I had a class in my basement, I loved everything about school. So number one, I was a reader, so I loved to read. And so schools where you could go and get books. And I always had a arrangement with the librarian that she would give me more than my 2 checkout books, So I just loved it. I loved the learning, which doesn't mean I was good at everything. I was not. I had to really, really work at some things because I wasn't good at it. I was good at reading, but everything. But I just loved going to a new place and meeting friends and having the ability to work with my friends to get better than where I was. So that was what I liked about it.
As a child, what was hard or maybe something you struggled with in school?
So I went to school when it wasn't always easy to be accepted and to have high expectations. That's the best way to put it. So sometimes I'll be just honest that because of the color of my skin, people didn't expect me to do well. And so that was hard on me because inside I always hear somebody saying, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. So that was a struggle. But what I learned is once you prove that you can do it and you really work toward it and people know you're a hard worker, then people will start to accept that. And that's one of my goals in Tacoma Public Schools is I don't want kids have to work to be expected or to have high expectations. I want you to walk into that classroom and have the teacher say, we know you can do it. All of you can do it and we're going to get you there. Because we all, we're good at really, really good at some things and we're not as good at other things. And we just need to have more support and more help. So, I'm really excited about that.
So thinking about Tacoma as a community that we have so many teachers and our superintendent who really support our students, who did that for you?
So sometimes it was teachers. I can still remember the teachers, that held my hand and, took me through the hard pieces, both in elementary school and middle school and high school. The ones who really had my back and took care of me, I remember them. And the other thing is family. And my mom and dad supported me too, but sometimes I think as kids, we don't pay attention to all the other people that have our backs. Like my grandmother had my back and she's the one who was telling me, hey, well, when that happens, this is what you need to say. And here's how you stand up for yourself in a nice way, and I don't want you to be impolite or rude, but here's how you can get your opinions out in a ladylike way. And so I had good family that supported me all along the way and good teachers that supported me along the way and friends. Sometimes we discount our friends, but sometimes the best advice that you can get about what's really going on is from your best friend. I'm one of those people that had really, really, really good best friends. And, I have women that I've had for friends for over 50 years. And we've supported each other through tough times, and that's real important.
Going along that with friends, COVID's been really difficult for everyone. We've been talking a lot on our TV classroom about self-care. And so we're wondering, what are you doing right now to take care of yourself to make sure you can be the best superintendent for Tacoma Public Schools?
So what I know about me is that I need time to really, to de-stress. I need to have a time where I can settle down because everything's always on fire, And so if I get into this time where I'm running around thinking, I got to save this, got to save that. If I wake up at 2:00 in the morning and I'm saying, oh no, did I sign that paper that I was supposed to sign before I left school? Then I'm a wreck. I'm no good for anybody. So what I'm really working on is getting in touch with friends, talking to them, and even, if it's on the phone, just a quick conversation. The other thing I really find that makes a difference is being grateful. I need to stop and say, oh, I am so blessed. I have got the best job in America. And so I am so lucky to have that. And I've got incredible kids. And you can go on our website and you can read so many incredible stories about what our kids are doing, what our teachers are doing, what our staff members are doing. This week I went to Gray Middle School and I was talking to all the lunchroom supervisors that are passing out lunches, and one of the lunchroom ladies, her name is Carla, I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, I know her from somewhere else, Come to find out, we were at a candle party. And so, I've just got to be willing, to do that. And the other thing I know is I just need, and I'm not doing this as well, which just shows that everybody has something they have to work at and keep working at, because I should be exercising more and I should be eating better and I should be making sure that I'm staying healthy. And so that's a goal of mine, is to put more energy into, getting up in the morning and exercising and skipping the cookie and eating the apple. I need to work on that a little more.
So your job is just huge. What do you do for fun?
Okay, so my biggest fun thing is I have a 2-year-old grandson named Mateo. And oh my goodness, he is, I haven't been around a 2-year-old for a long time, and he just keeps me moving. So he is fun, like nobody's business. The other day I was on a Zoom call, and on a Teams call with a group, and my husband had Mateo out in the living room. And he comes walking in like, what are you doing? And it's time to get off this, And he goes like this, puts his hands out, and that means I'm supposed to pick him up. So I picked him up and I had him on my lap, and he's looking at all those people and goes, what is this? So he makes me laugh, and he keeps me distracted, and also he keeps me focused on why we're doing this work and why it's so important. So he's my most fun thing. And then I am a closet scrapbooker. And so, but I have to admit, I haven't put much time into it lately, but I've got 3 albums I got to put together before the Christmas holidays. So I'm going to be working on that.
Your grandma, what are your favorite books to read to your grandchildren?
So I'm really kind of been out of my element because I've got all boys grandsons. And so they're not into the kind of books that I read when I was growing up. So I've had to discover a whole new genre. And what they are into are snakes and frogs and animals and insects. And so we're going with it. So I don't have a favorite one. But, from Mateo, his favorite one is Clifford the dog. So any kind of Clifford book, when he sees that red dog, he's happy. So Mateo is Clifford. But with Dylan and Aiden, and Dylan is 7 and Aiden is 5, they just like books about animals. So if I go to any store, I'm in the animal section looking for some new insect or new animal that I haven't seen before that I can read to them about. And Dylan just turned 7. And what's been fun now is that we're in the young readers section because he can read. And so that has been so much fun because I can send him the book and say, read it to me. And that's been great. So I love it.
That's awesome.
What are your hopes and dreams for your grandchildren?
They're living, my two grandsons, Dylan and Aiden, are in Denver, and Mateo, of course, is 2 here. But Dylan and Aiden are in remote learning, at home. And I just want them to stay positive. I want them to have a connection with their friends. I want them to maintain that love of learning and realize that you can get it in so many different ways. And that, one of the things I try to do anytime, we connect once a week on a call, and I say, okay, so, what'd you learn this week? What's new? What are you doing? Because I want them to maintain that love of learning and to know that it's the most important gift, that we can give each other, and that doesn't come from one place. You learn from school, but you learn from your parents, you learn from life, you learn from, lessons that other people teach you. But I want them to get everything they need to be whatever it is they decide they want to be. So.
What are your hopes and dreams for the kids of Tacoma right now?
Same thing. That's the same thing. My mission, when I wake up in the morning and I look in the mirror, I know that my job is to make sure that we have kids leave Tacoma Public Schools and have choices. It doesn't mean that they have to be a teacher. I like people who want to be teachers. But it doesn't mean they have to be a teacher. They should do whatever is going to make them happy, and what it's going to have them skipping to work every day. And my job as a leader of Tacoma Public Schools is to make sure that they get everything they need, to make that choice. So, we ask our high school students in their senior year to write a VANI, verified acceptance to the next institution, because I want them to have thought about it. And all of us know that you can change your mind, 10 or 11 or 12 or 13 times. And nowadays, kids can have lots of different jobs, which I think is really positive. But I want to make sure that we've got you social, emotionally prepared, that you can work in a team, that you can show empathy, that you can show love, and that also you can read and you can write and you can make decisions and problem solve. All those different skills wrapped together so that you can do anything you want to do.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with our kindergarten through 3rd grade students in Tacoma right now?
Sure. I want them to know that I want all of our students to know that we care so much about you. And the other thing I want them to know, that this is hard. This is hard work. Nobody's saying, oh, why don't they get it? We're all saying, oh my goodness, it's so hard. And every day you get up and you do your work and you sit with your teacher and you stay in your chair for a while to get that done. We appreciate it so much because this is hard work. And people are going to remember you forever because you're the ones who went through this and had to cooperate and get through it. So I wish all of them the very best and say, hang with it and help your parents. Because they're struggling. Thanks for having me. It was fun to come and talk.
Thank you so much for being here and for being honest and real with us and recognizing just how hard it is.
It's great to know we have such a wonderful leader of our district that cares about each and every one of you. So remember that every day, that even the leader of our district cares deeply about you, and we want what's best for you. So keep that in mind and remember that.
So thank you for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Bye, Tacoma.
Hey kids, we want to see your work. Just send your pictures and your stories to TV Classroom, 601 South 8th Street, Tacoma, Washington, 98405.